Welcome all of you in the series of lecture Bonding in Molecules. This is the fourth lecture on the hybridization, and in this lecture we will explain hybridization involving s, p and d orbital. Examples to explain hybridization involving s, p and d orbital and shapes and bond angles in the molecule with hybridization involving s, p and d orbital. So this is the three part we have to learn in this lecture. What are the types of hybridization involving s, p and d orbital? So first type 1s, 2p and 1d orbital is involved, and we get the hybridization which is dsp2 hybridization. The second one we have 1s, 3p and 1d orbital, and we get formation of 5 dsp3 hybrid orbital, that is hybridization is dsp3. Then we have the next type 1s, 3p, 2d orbital. We get totally 6 d2sp3 hybrid orbital. Thus hybridization type is d2sp3. And the next one 1s, 3p, 3d orbital. We'll get totally 7 dsp3 hybrid orbital. Thus hybridization is d3sp3 hybridization. So particularly we are going to explain these first three cases in detail, since they form the regular geometries such as a square planar, uh, trigonal bipyramidal and the octahedral. Okay, so very first type we will start is the DSP2 hybridization. DSP2 means what? We have one s orbital, 2p orbital and 1d orbital of the same atom are involved, and they form the 4dsp2 hybrid atomic orbital. So d means 1d orbital, s means 1p orbital and p2 means 2p atomic orbital. As far as conditions of hybridization are concerned, what are the conditions? They are belonging to the same atom and they must have nearly same energies. And number of hybrid atomic orbital form are equal to the number of pure atomic orbital involved. So we have the 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 atomic orbital are involved, and we get formation of 4 hybrid atomic orbital. Thus we have s orbital, then pz and the px orbital and dx square minus y square orbital. These are the 4 orbitals, they are involved in the hybridization. Okay, now the question is that if you see the d orbital, they are 5 in number: dxy, dxz, dyz, dx square minus y square and dz square. Then you can ask the question, why we have taken or chosen dx square minus y square orbital? Since the dx square minus y square orbital has suitable geometry and orientation to take part in the DSP2 hybridization. Okay, this is the reason. So the orbital should have suitable geometries and the orientation so that we can explain the hybridization and the orientation of orbitals in the space. Okay, so these 4 orbital are involved and we get the D2sp hybrid atomic orbital. So if you see in an atom, we have shown these orbitals separately here. But if you see in an atom, these orbitals they exist together. So if you see this, four hybrid atomic or four pure atomic orbital in the atom, they will look like this. They will mix with each other, and after mixing with each other, they will form hybrid atomic orbit. Okay, so they will mix and we get formation of four hybrid atomic orbital from the four pure atomic orbital. Okay, so these are the four dsp2 hybrid atomic orbital. They are formed from the four pure atomic orbital. So if you see these hybrid atomic orbital, they are oriented at the corners of square planar square plane. So they will give rise ultimately square planar geometry to the molecule. And if you see in the square plane, the angle is 90 degree. So if you see the any two orbital or adjacent to orbital, not any two, the bond angle is 90 degree. Okay, so if you seen the dsp2 hybrid atomic orbital, ultimately we will get bond angle 90 degree. So we will start with first type of hybridization, and the example of the first type of hybridization, that is dsp2 hybridization. Example is tetracyano nickel 2 complex. In this complex, nickel is the central metal ion, and hence we have to consider the hybridization of nickel 2 plus ion. So if you see the nickel atom, atomic number is 28 and the outer shell electronic configuration is 3d8 4s2 4p0. But if you see the complex ion, nickel is in +2 oxidation state. So nickel lost 2 electron from the 4s orbital and it formed nickel 2 plus ion. Thus electronic configuration of nickel 2 ion becomes 3d8 4s0 4p0. Thus if you see 3d orbitals of the nickel 2, we have the 3 orbitals from the 5 are full filled and 2 are the half filled. This is the ground state electronic configuration of the nickel 2 ion. Okay, now what will happen when complex formation take place? Nickel 2 ion undergoes excitation, and in the excited state what happens? One of the 3d unpaired electron get paired with another electron. Okay, so in the ground state we have two unpaired electron. In the excited state, these two unpaired electron get paired in the inner orbital. So we get four orbitals which are fulfilled, one d orbital which is empty, 4s orbital is empty, and 4p orbitals they are empty. This is the excited state nickel. The second process takes place in the excited state, that is empty 3d orbital, and which is nothing but 3d x square minus y square, empty 4s orbital, and empty 2 4p orbitals of the nickel undergoes dsp2 hybridization, and we get formation of 4 dsp2 hybrid atomic orbit. Okay, so if you see here, these are the empty orbital 3d x square minus y square, 4s, 4pz, and 4px or 4py. We have these 4 empty orbital. They undergoes hybridization, and hybridization type is dsp2 hybridization. Now we have the formation of the complex. Interaction of the nickel 2 ion take place with the cyanide. So what is the characteristic of cyanide? Cyanide ion consists of one lone pair of electron, and this lone pair of electron is used for the bonding. Okay, so if you see cyanide ion, we have this sigma bonding characteristic uh, orbital on it. It consists of a pair of electron, and this can be used for the bonding. So we have the 4 dsp2 hybrid atomic orbitals on the uh, Ni2 plus ion. So with these 4 cyanide orbital, that is the orbital on the carbon of the cyanide, they overlap and we get formation of cyanide and the nickel coordinate bond. Why the coordinate bond? Nickel orbitals, they are empty, while cyanide orbitals, which are fulfilled, and they overlap with each other, and electrons are donated from the cyanide ligand to the nickel, and hence the bond form is the covalent and the coordinate bond. Okay, so we have the 4 cyanide. Okay, then we have the 4 empty dsp2 hybrid orbitals of the nickel. They will overlap with each other, and we get the formation of the nickel cyanide coordinate bond. Okay, so we have the first nickel, second nickel, third nickel, and the fourth nickel. They overlap with 4 empty dsp2 hybrid orbital of the nickel, and we get formation of the nickel cyanide complex. So what will be the geometry? Ultimately, geometry will be square planar. Okay, we get square planar complex, and the reason is that the hybrid orbital of the central nickel ion, they have orientation along the corners of square plane. Okay, so geometry is square planar, and ultimately Cn NiCn bond angle will be 90 degree. Okay, so we have dsp2 hybridization. Example is the nickel cyanide complex, that is tetracyanonickel 2 complex, and central nickel ion is in dsp2 hybridization. The second type of hybridization involving ds and p orbital is dsp3 hybridization. So name itself indicate that there is an involvement of 1s, 3p, and 1d orbital. So totally 5 atomic orbital are involved, and we get formation of 5 dsp3 hybrid atomic orbital in the process. If you see, this hybridization is as such the result of two types of hybridization, sp2 and the dp hybridization. So you have to remember very well, here there are the two types of hybridization, sp2 and dp hybridization. So we have s orbital, 3p orbital, and 1d orbital. So why the dz square orbital we have considered from the five types? The reason is that dz square orbital have suitable geometry and orientation for the dsp2 hybridization, and we can explain the geometry of the molecule involving the dz square orbit. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, now these 5 atomic orbital, they will uh, form 5 hybrid atomic orbitals. So I already told you that this is the result of 2 hybridization, sp2 hybridization. So if you see s, pz and px atomic orbital, sorry, S, Py and the Px atomic orbital, they are involved in the sp2 hybridization. So if you see in an atom, these three atomic orbital look like together. So if you see in an atom, these are three orbital, that is S, Px and Py orbital, they will look like this. Okay. So they will undergo hybridization, and on hybridization we get formation of three sp2 hybrid atomic orbital. Okay, so if you see, we get the three sp2 hybrid atomic orbital, and already we are familiar with the sp2 hybridization. They are oriented at the corners of regular triangle. So they are oriented in the horizontal plane, and they give rise the trigonal geometry. Now we have the dp hybridization. The pz orbital and dz square orbital, they mix with each other and we get the dp hybridization. So if you see d and p orbital in an atom, they will look like this in an atom. So both orbital, they are shown together and they will undergo hybridization, and on hybridization we get formation of 2dp hybrid atomic orbital. This is one dp hybrid atomic orbital. This is another dp hybrid atomic orbital, and they are oriented along the z-axis, or they are oriented perpendicular to the trigonal plane of the sp2 hybrid atomic orbital. Thus, if you see the three atomic orbital which lies in the trigonal plane, and two atomic orbital, they lie along the z-axis. If you see these five orbital together, they will look like this. The three orbitals, they are oriented in the trigonal plane, and the two orbitals along the vertical axis perpendicular to the trigonal plane. So we get the trigonal bipyramidal geometry for the 5 dsp3 hybrid atomic orbital. Now, what is the example? Example is PCl5 molecule. If you see in PCl5 molecule, central phosphorus atom has dsp3 hybridization. So ultimately, we have to consider the phosphorus atom. So if you see atomic number of phosphorus is 15, and we have ground state electronic configuration for outermost shell is 3s2, 3p3 and 3d0. So 4s orbital of 3s orbital of phosphorus are fulfilled, while 3p orbital, all they are half filled. When the reaction starts between phosphorus and chlorine gas, phosphorus atom undergoes excitation. This is the very first step in the reaction. In excited state, one electron from 3s orbital of phosphorus is promoted to the higher energy 3d orbital. This requires energy, and ultimately this energy requirement is fulfilled by the reaction between phosphorus and chlorine gas. Okay, so we have the excited state phosphorus atom. The electronic configuration become 3s1, 3p3 and the 3d1. So the next step take place in the excited state is the dsp3 hybridization. We have 3s, 3p3 and one 3d atomic orbital which is half filled. This atomic orbital undergoes dsp3 hybridization, and we get formation of 5 dsp3 hybrid atomic orbital on the phosphorus atom. Thus, if you see excited state phosphorus atom, we have 5 half-filled dsp3 hybrid atomic orbital. Okay, and ultimately we have seen this uh, orientation. We have this 5d atomic orbital, 5 dsp3 hybrid atomic orbital of the phosphorus. 3 are oriented in the trigonal plane and 2 are along the vertical axis. Thus, in excited state, phosphorus consists of 5 half-filled hybrid atomic orbital. As they are half-filled, they will take part in the bonding with chlorine. So we have chlorine, atomic number of chlorine is 17. So ground and excited state electronic configuration of the chlorine is same, and I have represented here outermost shell electronic configuration 3s2, 3px2, 3py2 and 3pz1. So if you see in the chlorine atom, we have 3pz atomic orbital which is half-filled, and ultimately this half-filled atomic orbital from the chlorine will take part in the bonding. Okay, so you are familiar with the valence bond theory that half-filled orbital from the atom can overlap with each other to form a sigma bond. So now we will see the process of overlap of the atomic orbital between phosphorus and chlorine to form phosphorus chlorine sigma bond. So we have the pz atomic orbital of the 5 chlorine atom. We have the 5 half-filled atomic orbital of the phosphorus. These are the 5 hybrid atomic orbital of the phosphorus. These are the 5 pz atomic orbital of the 5 chloride atom. Okay, they will overlap with each other. Okay, and now see the process of overlap. They will overlap with each other and we get formation of the phosphorus chlorine. This is phosphorus, central phosphorus, and at this end we have the chlorine. We get such a formation of 5 phosphorus chlorine bond in the PCl5. All these process take place during the chemical reaction and in the excited state. When the product is formed, we get the stabilized PCl5 molecule. So if you see in the PCl5 molecule, the angle between this chlorine, phosphorus and chlorine, this chlorine is the trigonal plane, this chlorine in the vertical plane. Once again see, this chlorine in trigonal plane and this chlorine in vertical plane. This angle is 90 degree. While if you see the phosphorus atoms in the trigonal plane, this atom, chlorine atom in the trigonal plane, this chlorine atom in the trigonal plane, this angle is 120 degree. So if you see the PCl5 molecule, we get the two bond angle, one is 90 degree and another is 120 degree. So if you see the PCl5 molecule, structure is trigonal bipyramidal and the bond angles are 120 degree and the 90 degree. So why PCl5 has trigonal bipyramidal geometry? The reason is that 5 hybrid atomic orbital on the phosphorus atom, they are oriented at the corners of regular trigonal bipyramid. This is the reason, that's why the PCl5 molecule have trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Okay, so the third example that we also see is the D2sp3 hybridization. The name itself indicates that there is a 1s orbital, 3p orbital and 2d atomic orbital, they are involved in the hybridization, and we get the 6 D2sp3 hybrid orbital. But if you see, this is the result of two types of hybridization. One is DSP2 hybridization and another is the dp hybridization. Mixing of these two types of hybrid atomic orbital, they will lead to the formation of 6 hybrid atomic orbit. Okay, so you can see here we have this s atomic orbital, 3p atomic orbital, 2d atomic orbital, dx square minus y square and dz square, and again you can see here these d orbital, dx square minus y square and dz square have suitable geometry to take part in the d2sp3 hybridization. Hence they are involved in the hybridization. Okay, so already I have told you that this is the result of two hybridization, two types of hybridization. So here we have the first type of hybridization, dsp2 hybridization, s orbital, px orbital, py orbital and dx square minus y square orbital. These are the 4 orbital. They are involved in the hybridization, and if you see in an atom, these 4 hybrid atomic orbital, they will look like this. They will mix with each other, and after mixing they will give rise formation of the 4 dsp2 hybrid atomic orbital. Okay, so we have the 4 dsp2 hybrid atomic orbital. They are formed from the 4 pure atomic orbital s, px, py and dx square minus y square orbital. Now the second type in this is the dp hybridization. So pz orbital and dz square orbital of the atom will be involved in the hybridization. These two orbitals together, they will look like this. They will undergo hybridization, and on hybridization we get formation of two dp hybrid atomic orbital, and they will be oriented along the z-axis. Thus, if you see D2sp3 hybridization, we have the two types of hybrid atomic orbital. dsp2 hybrid atomic orbital, they are lying along the corners of square plane, and we have two dp hybrid atomic orbital. They are oriented along the vertical axis, that is perpendicular to the square plane of dsp2 hybrid atomic orbital. So these 6 orbital together, they will look like this, and they will be oriented along the corner of regular octahedron. So we have the octahedron, regular octahedron, and these 6 orbital, they are oriented along the corner of the regular octahedron. Okay, so we have the D2sp3 hybridization. Totally 6 hybrid atomic orbitals are formed, and angle between two adjacent hybrid atomic orbital will be 90 degree. Okay, so the example of D2sp3 hybridization is SF6 molecule. In the SF6 molecule, central sulfur atom has D2sp3 hybrid atomic orbital. That is, sulfur undergoes D2sp3 hybridization. If you see now the sulfur atomic number 16, and we have the outermost shell electronic configuration for sulfur is 3s2, 3p4 and 3d0. In ground state, 3s orbital are fulfilled. One 3p orbital such as a 3pz is fulfilled. 3px and 3py are half filled, and all d orbital they are empty. Now, when the chemical reaction takes place between sulfur and the fluorine gas, sulfur atom undergoes excitation, and in the excitation process, one electron from 3s and one electron from 3p orbital, that is totally 2 electrons, they are promoted to the higher energy 3d orbital. Thus, if you see sulfur in the excited state electronic configuration 3s1, 3p3, 3d1. Okay. So in the excited state, sulfur has totally these 6 orbitals which are half filled and they take part in the hybridization. So in the excited state, these 6 orbitals undergoes D2sp3 hybridization and we get the formation of 6 D2sp3 hybrid orbitals. Okay, so if you see the 6 hybrid atomic orbitals of the sulfur, all they are half filled. Okay, 6 orbital hybrid orbital they are half filled and hence all they take part in the bonding with the fluorine. So we have the 6 D2sp3 hybrid atomic orbital of the sulfur and they are half filled and they will take part in the bonding with the fluorine atom. What is the case of fluorine? Atomic number of 9 and we have the ground or the excited electronic configuration is 2s2, 2px2, 2py2 and 2pz1. 2pz orbital of the fluorine is half filled and ultimately this 2pz atomic orbital of the fluorine will take part in the bonding and ultimately the half filled atomic orbital, hybrid atomic orbital of the sulfur and 2pz atomic orbital of the fluorine, they will overlap to form sulfur fluorine sigma. So process of orbital overlap, we have 6 pz atomic orbital of the 6 fluorine atom. Then we have the 6 half-filled hybrid atomic orbital of the sulfur atom. They will undergo orbital overlap and on overlap we will get formation of the sulfur fluorine sigma bonds. Okay, so here orbital overlap is shown and all 6 orbitals have the overlap along internuclear axis and hence we get formation of sulfur fluorine hexabond, sulfur fluorine sigma bonds. Okay, so if you see the SF6 molecule, the geometry of SF6 molecule is like this. So octahedral geometry, and if you see the fluorine, sulfur, fluorine, this bond angle is 90 degree. The structure or the geometry will be square planar bipyramidal and square planar bipyramidal means octahedral and yes, FS bond angle will be 90 degree. So in this lecture we have seen the hybridization involving S, P and D orbital and particularly we have explained the 3 types of hybridization involving S, P and D orbital. So in the summary we have the S orbital, 2p orbital and 1d orbital. Hybridization is dsp2, geometry is square planar, bond angle is 90 degree. Example we have NiCN4 2 complex ion, PtCl4 2 minus complex ion. The second 1s orbital, 3p orbital and 1d orbital, dsp3 hybridization. The geometry will be trigonal bipyramidal. 2 types of bond angle will be observed, 120 degree in the trigonal plane and 90 degree between trigonal plane and the vertical axis. An example is PCl5 and the third type 1s orbital, 3p orbital and 2d orbital, D2sp3 hybridization. The geometry is octahedral or square planar bipyramidal and the angle is 90 degree and we have example is SF6 molecule. With this we have completed the 3 types of hybridization involving S, P and D orbital. Thanks.